Hey guys, welcome back to A Student of Beauty. My name is Gabby Pasqua and today we are in France. We have had a whirlwind of an adventure this summer. We've gone from the Philippines and all over the Philippines, from Luzon to the Visayas to Mindanao to now going through Dubai and landing in France. It has taken a moment to get my bearings, but we've made it. We are finally here on the French Riviera, and I can't wait to get back into podcasting and back into all of this with you guys. Let's jump into what we're doing. First of all, these podcasts, definitely want to make them short and sweet and to the point, and just let's get to know each other. But this week in our world, if you didn't know, and if it's your first time here, I'm Gabby. I'm an executive producer for a new indie documentary series that is not out yet. And I know this is quite contemporary and not really like what other producers probably would do and documentary teams would do, is document the documentary. But here we are. We're here today, and I'll tell you a little bit about what our week looked like. And so we went from filming in the Philippines to filming here in France. We've had about 2 weeks to adjust, to get into it. We've done everything from, attend perfume fields, have new conversations with some of our old friends and perfumers, and also starting to build relationships with new perfume houses, some legacy brands, and got really exclusive experiences here in the south of France. And so I've been really, really excited to just kind of come back in to the pace of life that here in Provence really just kind of has its own unique pace. The jasmine fields are in full bloom. They smell so decadent and delightful, and they are in full abundance here in Grasse. There was a night with the mayor of Grasse, which is the perfume capital of the world. The entire community of Grasse came out. The mayors of the surrounding provincial cities, including Caen and Nice, all were in presence. There were a lot of perfumers and many who have been a part of such an artistic and craft-centered community that, influences the way that maybe you present yourself, every single day, because perfume is part of a lot of our daily rituals. And so moving on for what beauty has taught me, right? So what has beauty taught me this week? I think being back in France, coming out of a very demanding travel schedule, I think beauty the last couple weeks have really taught me to bring it back to the basics. For me, if I don't feel good, everything, it just screams discomfort. I wear my feelings on my face. I wear it in my body posture. I wear it everywhere. It shows up just in my persona. So if I'm not feeling good, I obviously don't feel like I look good. I could fake it till I make it, and we can play that game of just putting a Band-Aid on it. But I think for me, the biggest lesson that I have been reminded of is that beauty really starts with a sense of wellness for me. And if I'm not well, nothing else that I'm doing is well. And for me, it's taking care of my mental health, my emotional health, but also my physicality. And so I think coming out of such a demanding travel schedule, the biggest thing for me has been sleep, and just making sure that I have time to allow my body to get back onto a healthy rhythm, to be able to, go on walks if I'm not going on runs. It really goes down to the basics. It's going back to beauty basics of, for me, the baseline for beauty is always going to be my overall health and well-being. And so for me, it's been back down to grounding, even the foods that I'm choosing to eat, how we're shopping, and packing the house with groceries and making sure that they're full balanced meals, just very nourishing, replenishing, and also some that just are comforting. And so I think for me, it's been a back to the basics week. I think also too, what beauty has taught me is that confidence really comes from the way that I not only feel, but in the way that I choose to present myself. And so also with being basically on the road for this entire year, I've been in a suitcase this entire year. My whole life has been with me in 2 to 3 suitcases. And one big impact that I've been very well aware of the last couple weeks in particular. Maybe it's because I'm in France, being the home of like couture. It's been very made aware to me that I feel very disjointed from the way that I am choosing clothing and dressing and the way that I'm showing up in the world. And that is something that I feel like it subconsciously has been doing something to me, where I don't feel like myself and I don't feel presentable, because I don't feel like I'm being authentic in the way that I want to express myself, in the way that I'm dressing. Therefore, it's directly impacting the way that I show up. And so it's been very made aware to me that this is now a season. I really want to double down on kind of revamping a closet that feels like me, that's very unique to my story. And I think another realization that I'm having traveling from country to country and even just passing through different cities is there's such a homogenous, like, uniform look that is sold and packaged as luxury, that is sold and packaged as, like, obviously like the trends. But for me, I feel like no matter where you are in the world, you're gonna find the same thing everywhere else, and everybody is starting to just kind of like unanimously look the same. That it's also subconsciously doing something to me, where it's just like I don't feel like I fit in, like, into this look, or I don't personally want to follow that trend. I don't want to look like that ad, and I don't like the curation that's in the store. And so I don't know if there's anybody else who's struggling with this, but when it comes to personal style and curating a closet, or in my case, curating a suitcase that really feels like me, I feel like I'm having a harder time, because it's not as easy anymore as just going to a store and popping in and seeing what you like. I think for me, there's now more of an artistic intent, or like a creative intent, that I feel like I want to have with my wardrobe, just because personality and having personal style in this season of my life, I think, is something that is becoming more important to me the more and more I've been traveling through. And so I'm on a mission to rebuild my wardrobe, to rebuild, I guess, a sense of confidence in my body and in how I just show up, because I also feel like this is the most, if I can be vulnerable for a second, but this is like the most out of shape I've been in my adult life, that I also am feeling the negative implications on that. And I'm feeling different when I travel, and like I'm feeling different, like my legs swell. That's never happened before when I travel. And so it's just like, it's a health consciousness that I feel like I'm being woken up to. It's a personal style consciousness that I feel like I am being, also made aware of, and not in a vain way, but just in a personal way that just absolutely impacts the way that I will show up as a friend, as a business owner, as a business partner, as a leader in everything that I'm doing, as a creative, as an artist. Like, it all matters, and it all impacts. And the other thing that I've learned is that because I've been neglecting those senses of self, I then also feel like it quiets down my authentic voice and the way that I deliver anything. And so it's just one thing leads to another and leads to another, which I feel like, holistically speaking, that's why at the end of it, for me, the root of this all, beauty, has taught me that the core of it is well-being. It's health and wellness. It really is a sense of grounding into myself and knowing who I am and how I want to, play dress up, if you will, and decorate and just have fun, because I feel like personal style and beauty really is a depiction of just a celebration of who we are, of who I am. And if I am not grounded in who I am, I can't celebrate myself well. And so with that being said, I don't know. I feel like that's been the biggest lesson. It's getting back down to the basics so that I can celebrate this chapter, this season, so that I can be the best version of myself that I can be with everything that I do. And I feel like also too, a big, I guess, personal challenge that I have been overcoming, and this is why I think I'm pushing myself to do these podcasts a bit more, is realizing that like my thoughts and opinions actually matter, that I actually do have a space that I can share, I can give, I can have time to really exercise the muscle of voice, which I feel like I've been struggling with. And it's something that I feel like is also directly impacted with how I'm feeling and the confidence that kind of I feel I'm lacking because of the neglect that I feel like I'm giving myself with how crazy and how busy everything has been. And so biggest lesson, biggest takeaway for the week is that when it comes to beauty, it really, the foundation is the thing that matters the most. And so with that, I hope that this helps someone. I hope that spending time with me has kind of sparked something in you. And so as always, or as starting now, maybe from now on, I will always end with this of like, what has beauty taught you this week? So, love to know. So, should I just wrap it out? Should I wrap it out? Am I good? That's good? Okay. And so with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Again, my name is Gabby Pasqua. You're listening to A Student of Beauty, and we are coming to you from France. Hopefully we'll get you some more this next week. But until then, thanks for tapping in, and we'll talk to you soon. Bye.